Hey there, welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name's Richard, still sitting here with No Pants, and today I want to talk about the first real public follow-up that's been done about the launch of the starstake mission NFT since, since it launched. So, starstake, for those of you who don't know, we've done videos on this before on the No Pants Profits channel, is a music or asset-backed NFT, and you're going to see all of that right now. I believe that what they've sold already is an asset-backed security. The main reason I'm doing this is to document this. If this channel for starstake were to ever go away, it's going to be here. So I definitely want to go over. They just released an update. This is right now Wednesday, November 16th, 2022 at 2:08 a.m. So we're going on about 4 days since the launch of the starstake mission series 1 NFT, and I want to give you their update, but I also want to translate it. That's my goal, is that you can understand what is going on. So again, this is the starstake website, and you'll see that they have currently sold 6,319 of their NFTs. But the important thing about this is understand, again, and you're going to see this, I want to break this down. 6,319 divided by 311. Most people have bought 20 NFTs, as I said in my last video, because you need 25 to be involved in what I'm going to call the dividend program. So what I want to do is I want to play you this most current update. I'm documenting it as well as kind of commentating and helping you understand what's really going on here, because there's a lot of double speak, there's a lot of things like that. We're going to talk about how this relates to NRGY, how it relates to NRGY, how it relates to Builder Coin, and other stuff like that. So let's go ahead, let's get started. This was posted on starstake. It is currently 2:09 a.m. Eastern Time on November 19th, 2022. It's posted an hour ago, so about 1 a.m. Eastern Time. YouTube's a little funky, so it could be as late as midnight because it doesn't round the hours properly. And you'll see as of right now, it's sitting at 29 views. You can see I even went ahead and said, Star Stakers Assemble! Just like Avengers Assemble, which is kind of amusing. But let's go ahead, let's watch this, let's talk about what's going on, everything that's actually happening here, because I find it extremely interesting to dig into.
Hey everyone, hey Star Stakers, it's Chris Hawk here and Tarek EQ Amawi. Just wanted to welcome you to a quick broadcast. We wanted to do kind of a recap of the recent mint of the Mission Series 1. We want to talk about the Mission Series 1 NFTs. We also want to talk about the future of starstake and all the great things happening, give you some insight into the actual story and what do these Mission NFTs actually do.
Remember, this is not a company. It's not a centralized company. It's a DeFi project. I want to be very important. So I don't know what they're really leading here. Maybe it's just a marketing thing. But they're saying it's a DeFi project, so we'll go with it's a DeFi project. No company here, none of that.
How do they play a role into starstake, and where are we going to go with this? I know a lot of you are very, very excited. You just had your mint here the other day on Saturday. It's been going great. In fact, I think Tarek, we're about 700 away from minting out of a 7,000 mint. Is that right? Are we about 700 away?
Yeah, we're about 700 at last count. So that means 9.
So what you'll understand, if you look at the trajectory, they sold out the first 1,000 in 25 minutes, they sold out the second 1,000 in an hour, they sold out the third 1,000 in 2 hours, they sold out the fourth 1,000 in 4 hours, they sold out the fifth 1,000. It's slowing down. Momentum's slowing down. The way all of this works is you get the people in first, and then they have to keep selling. It'll be really interesting to see when they get to that 700, because I think it's going to take at least a week, unless they find a new pool of people. So it's going to be at least Saturday coming up.
Tenths of a 7,000 collection minted, and probably arguably some of the worst market sentiment for digital currencies and NFTs. So that just goes to show how rallied our Star Staker community is.
I agree with them. It's very rare I agree with them, but it's been a bad. Oh God, Siri. I agree with them. It's very rare I agree with them. This has been a bad week for crypto, especially with FTX and everything like that. If you've been watching that, this is the week of FTX. Yeah, let's go on.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was talking to my partner and we were talking about,
That's Alan. We don't talk about Alan. No. CFTC settlement, Allen, $1.6 million settlement with the Consumer Futures Trading Commission.
Launching Mission NFTs right now with everything that's going on. And I said to him, I said, you know what? It really doesn't matter because we've worked really hard to separate.
It really doesn't matter because we've got you all in a community and you're listening and you're bringing your friends. The crypto's not the important part here. The crypto is the vehicle of the MLM. Even Chris has admitted the crypto is what makes this, I'm going to bunny ears it, legal. And we'll dig into that in a minute.
Starstake and Mission NFTs from that industry, from anything crypto related or even NFT related. We haven't done the traditional, like typical mint. We kept it very much kind of an intimate internal thing.
Because no one in crypto is going to buy this. Anybody who's in crypto is going to Google NRGY, is going to Google Builder DeFi, and it's going to understand that it's the same thing over and over. Look, I mean, seriously, let's take a look at NRGY. Last 24 hours, we're down 20%. Last week, we're down 40%. If we zoom in here, you'll see this is when the NFTs launched. All is well, all is well. And then they got to do a push to get people involved. So all the people that were formerly in NRGY sold it, and NRGY is down half of what it was. Now, I personally believe that Minter token, which we'll get into in a minute, is just an evolution on NRGY and NRGY Go and Builder. That's all that's really going on in the background here, but it's being done inside of an NFT-backed security. So let's go ahead.
Was a lot on social media, obviously, but you know, this was something that we've been working up to for a year and a half. And, you know, it didn't surprise me that we nearly sold out 7,000. It surpassed my expectations day one. In fact, I didn't know it would be that well adopted early on. So I just want.
Well, in the past, he said it's going to sell out almost immediately. So it's showing you that his own sentiment is changing over time. I think that's kind of interesting. If you watched any of his videos before, his sentiment is changing over time.
Thank all of you out there that have Mission Series NFTs. This is really important because this is not just, we didn't just mint an NFT for NFT's sake. We didn't have to do this, but it was really a way for us to involve the community and to involve people and users onto starstake in a way that was really unique. It was also the access pass for us to use for creators to be able to be the first launch artists on starstake. Now, mind you, if you're watching this right now, what is the date today? The 15th of November.
This released on the 16th of November, so I'm taking this about an hour or two after the release of the video, 2022. I just want to be very clear.
We haven't rolled out starstake. Starstake is not even rolled out yet. This was kind of the preamble to the version 1 rollout, which you'll see here within a week or so. And so this was kind of the get ready, start playing, start preparing yourself. And we wanted to give you a little taste of what we're all about. And that's really what these Mission NFTs stand for. And maybe Tark, if you want to talk about kind of like how we came about. I mean, this was something literally 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago. We said, hey, let's do it this way. Let's do it different with asset-backed NFTs instead of
asset-backed securities. That's what it is. He's literally saying it's an asset-backed security. Let's be very, very, very clear. This is against the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is against a lot of things. Now, you might say right now, hey, this is just a fat, unshaven guy sitting here with no pants. That's crazy. But trust me, it's going to matter in the future that these are asset-backed securities. Because they're going to say it over and over and over that they're backed by assets. And asset-backed securities are securities. They're being very specific not to say the word security. But if you do look at the Howey test, this is an asset-backed security.
Bring a coin to everybody and saying, hey, this is a utility coin and that you should buy it, which is something we kind of shied away from, but maybe share a little bit with the viewers about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, really with everything here at starstake, we don't just look at what other people are doing or what other platforms are doing. We're like, how can we make it so it's the best possible user experience? How can we go above and beyond the Call of Duty and deliver a unique experience? We don't
Again, I want you to keep the Howey test rules in mind. Something that does not pass the Howey test, meaning it's security, is an investment of money. Ethereum, which you bought these NFTs with, Ethereum is a Well, it's the word Ethereum that gets Serial angry. Ethereum is a currency in a common enterprise. Well, which is the company, has a reasonable expectation of profit. Yep. And is derived from the effort of others, meaning a third-party company is actually doing something with it. Now, if you're part of a company, you can have ownership in the company whether you want to or not. So this is not DeFi. Someone's choosing a launch date. Someone's choosing when this comes out. Someone's choosing how many of these NFTs are here. Don't trick and believe it's DeFi. And you'll see in a minute that they don't even want it to be DeFi. So, I mean, is this a security? If you're questioning, does it pass? Is it an investment of money / Ethereum in a common enterprise, in a company with a reasonable expectation of profits? Yes. Derived from the efforts of others. You out there are not making starstake. Starstake is actually made by a third-party company, which is holding events and everything like that. So, to be very clear, it passes / fails the Howey test, however you want to look at it. This is a security, which is against the United States law and can not be sold to unqualified United States investors. But continuing.
Simply want people to use starstake. We want people to experience it, to be immersed in it, to feel enveloped by a culture, a vibe, a story, and that also translates to how we approach the Mission Series 1. So we looked at what was out there and we were like, okay, if our goal here is to make the world's first asset-backed NFTs, right, which by itself is a tall order.
Yes, the world's first asset-backed NFTs. That's a security. Again, I don't want to hound on this too much, but again, remember, you're paying Ethereum, which has been determined to be a currency. There is a common enterprise, meaning there's a company. There's a reasonable expectation of profit. You'll see what they say. And it's derived from the efforts of others, meaning there's a company doing your bidding mainly for you. Yes, there is an MLM network marketing aspect of this, but there's a company behind it.
But how can we make that a great experience? And we thought, well, rather than having to go through crypto exchanges and have to deal with all of this, all of these new interfaces and different things.
Rather than having to go DeFi, let's be very clear, I'm translating. Rather than having to use actual DeFi, which is what they claim to be, continuing.
To kind of get involved, we're like, well, what if you simply bought the NFTs and then all of the complex backend was taken care of for you and the smart contracts were already built in, and now you have a first-hand experience of how starstake builds in utility and functionality. So even before launching, even before
asset-backed security. Keyword.
starstake V1 goes out to the public, you already are experiencing that utility and that functionality built into these NFTs. And of course, it didn't just end with the utility. I mean, really, with the utility alone, Chris, wouldn't you agree that we could have just created 7,000 blank slates, right? Just black squares or black rectangles.
An asset-backed black rectangle. The artwork doesn't matter. I really don't think a legal team is looking at this. The way NFTs get around being a security is you're just buying a picture of a monkey, or in this case, a picture of some astronauts. They're literally saying out loud, this could be blank, and it'd be cool.
Have the starstake logo, and that would have been enough just because.
I'm going to rewind a minute because I want you to hear this in full. I'll comment after it. Let me rewind just a little bit.
You already are experiencing that utility and that functionality built into these NFTs. And of course, it didn't just end with the utility. I mean, really, with the utility alone, Chris, wouldn't you agree that we could have just created 7,000 blank slates, right? Just black squares or black rectangles that have the starstake logo, and that would have been enough just because of the asset backing that's coming with that, because that's the
asset-backed security.
It's the true utility here. That's the real hidden power under the hood, and I'm totally going to get you to explain that in a moment and let people know exactly what this utility token actually amounts to for them. But even if these NFTs were just blank and they just came asset backed, that's already a huge milestone. That's already an incredible thing to have your hands on. But then
again, even if they were blank and they come asset backed, that makes them a Security, as per the Howey test, it's an investment of money in a common enterprise with a reasonable expectation of profits derived from not your effort, being you the watcher or you the investor, but the effort of others, being starstake, marketing what's going on.
To go further than that and say, well, let's also make sure that the art stands on its own merit. Make sure that people actually want to collect these, that they look cool. And, we've seen so many of these two-dimensional NFT collections, right, that have kind of become the industry standard over the last couple of years. And we're like, well, how can we do things differently? How can we create something that is more our vibe, more our aesthetic, maybe a little bit more grown up in a way, and really mix in that retro futuristic kind of look and feel, and tie it into the starstake lore, which you're going to see on this call runs deeper than you think. So, but we'll dive into that a little bit later. But maybe, Chris, if you could share a little bit on this mystery token, Minter. What is Minter, and what utility does it have? And why is this an exciting time for everybody who has a hold of one or more of these Mission Series 1 NFTs?
Now, what he's saying is, why is this version 3 of NRGY? You had NRGY Go, really version 4. You had NRGY Go, you had Builder, you had NRGY. This Minter is just a 4th version of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, when we started to think about NFTs, we didn't want to mint NFTs for NFT's sake. We wanted to connect it to starstake in a way. And so those of you that have these, look, you have an amazing NFT. You purchased an NFT. That's what you own. That $100 goes towards that asset, and that's it. But on top of that, we wanted
$100 goes towards that asset. It's an asset-backed security.
say, how can we connect you to this more? And so that's where the asset backed piece comes, and it uses the same.
He said it. He literally said asset-backed. Think about that for a second. But it's DeFi. Don't worry, we'll get there in a minute.
Technology, and anybody from the outside really has no idea how starstake works. The technology.
Let's just take it there. Anybody from the outside has no idea how starstake works. As Elon Musk would say when he brought a sink into Twitter, let that sink in. I think I have a very good idea, and I think my idea would hold up in any courtroom in the United States. I'm just saying.
The complexity of this, people are going to assume that they think or they know something, but they don't, because it's very, very complex. So the technology inside of an asset-backed NFT is similar to that in the NFT bucks that are coming out here in a week. That technology is used to stabilize that buck, so it can be used as like an in-app currency, just like you might see V-Bucks in games, or some of those others. It works similarly.
Now, he's saying just like you would see in something that's an actual company. V-Bucks in games, in-app currencies in different games, Steam and the App Store and the Google Play Store and stuff like that. Remember, we're talking about centralized stuff now, but DeFi's different.
So we took that similar technology and we said, hey, how can we reward people? Key thing, reward people for...
Key thing, reward people. What is that? Number 3, a reasonable expectation of profit.
Owning that artwork, for owning that NFT, kind of like owning a time in history. And so that's what the asset backed is. And so that asset is called Minter. It's a token that we created. We wanted to have our own token, obviously, starstake.
We're in an ICO right now, which again is illegal to do in the US. They've taken an ICO, packaged it inside artwork, which they literally said a minute ago didn't even need to be artwork. Could have been a black box with the starstake logo on it. Yeah. Building a case for itself there.
I wanted to call it starstake token. So we said, okay, what does this thing do? Well, it's used for...
Well, they should have called it NRGY, because that's what it really is. NRGY. But I digress.
That token is built into the treasury, and the treasury is what's used when somebody, if you go on to starstake as a creator and you're accepted into Creator Hub and you say, I'm going to make my own buck, it's a $5 buck. What happens is that token then helps secure that price of that $5. So it always makes sure that that is always worth $5. Unlike traditional NFTs, right, which is just a piece of art, it could be worth $0 or $100,000.
Remember, what they're saying is the NFT doesn't matter. They said a few minutes ago it could have been a black square. They're selling you a coin. They're doing an ICO and putting it inside of an NFT. I think the distinction's pretty clear what's going on here. Look up, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up ICO for US investors, and you'll see what I mean.
But this is because we want to use this for a transactionary tool. What happens is that minter coin, when somebody buys that buck, for example, say they spend $5 with a credit card, it puts that and changes that fiat into minter token. It stores it in the treasury, which stabilizes the price, meaning it will always be worth $5. So then you have something that's beautiful. You have a cool piece of artwork that you can trade and sell on open and secondary markets, or you could use it to transact on a music SNFT, on an Access NFT, on anything on starstake, like a currency. Or you could just convert.
So they're trying to say it's a currency, but it's an asset. Think about that for a second. They're trying to push the currency BS, but it can only be used on starstake right now. Therefore, it's not a currency. It's not like Ethereum. It's not like Bitcoin. It's not as defined as a currency. This is a security.
Right back into fiat again. So it's reversible as well. So it has those really cool utility functions, which opens up, you guys, this opens up a whole new doorway to possible.
A whole new world, one that Alan and Chris created. I'm sorry I'm off key, but that's what they're trying to say.
When it comes to using NFTs and blockchain for actual utility purposes of transactionary purposes, because now where PayPal might be getting those fees in the past, now the creators who make these artworks, whether it's Bieber Bucks or Chris Bucks or
copyright infringement, which is against their own rules of their community. They're saying Bieber Bucks. There's only one Bieber, and trust me, Justin Bieber likes to sue. There was an and his team. There was an application called the Joustin Beaver. Joustin Beaver on the App Store, and they said it would cause confusion with Justin Bieber, and they took it down. So don't say Justin Bieber there.
To bucks, the creator gets a piece of that, which makes it really interesting, you know, Tark, because now we have a connection to each other. If you come out with something, I can not only buy your bucks, which connects me to you, but I can spend those on your stuff too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there's an aspect of this that I just want to highlight. Imagine, you know, we're going into the holiday season. Imagine you create a holiday collection of bucks that end up being really popular, that people just enjoy using. Suddenly, you are getting a transaction fee for everybody who's using your bucks. And because you have access to Creator Hub early before everyone else, it means you have a chance to create one of those collections before anyone else, which means your visibility, your chance of being adopted as a buck of choice, as a collection that people use, is much higher than somebody who comes onto the platform later. So I think everybody who has these...
Again, keyword, a reasonable expectation of profits. As you probably guessed, the criteria established by the Supreme Court became what is known as the Howey test. Since its creation, the Howey test has been a legal doctrine determining whether transactions are investment contracts. Of course, this is an investment contract. Black and white.
Series 1, there's so many hidden perks that I think it's worth highlighting because they aren't immediately apparent.
Yeah, and it's a good point, Tarek, because from the outside looking in, it may look like a beautiful piece of artwork, and if you believe in our vision of where we want to go and take starstake, then you believe in, you know, you're a starstaker and you're here with us. But there's so much more, right? So we created access, you know, use cases for this. So if you own one Mission NFT, that lets you into Creator Hub as a launch artist as we roll out starstake. So you can be the first into the platform to mint your own NFT bucks, to mint starstake NFTs and attach rewards and what we call the mothership.
Attach an expectation of profits, or what they're really saying is attach access. So I'm not going to say expectation of profits there. I'll be fair. They're talking about rewards, generally non-financial rewards, backstage passes and stuff like that. But I think we're going to go another place in a second.
NFT is the most advanced NFT technology in the world. And then you also have the ability to create access NFTs that can be redeemable for commercial items and products and services. So you can be the first, and all you have to do is have one of those. And what that does too for people that don't get one of those, when we sell these out, they're out. And so if people want into that to be for a launch artist, they're going to have to get it from somebody else.
Remember, there's still 700 left. This is a classic marketer trick, which, hey, Chris is a classic marketer, is create scarcity. They're trying to get people that are already in for 1 or 2 or 10 to get up to that 25 number, because ain't no one new coming in the funnel right now.
As one. So it helps create the demand for these. Its utility is like an entrance ticket into starstake as a launch creator. Later on, people won't have to have that, but that's down the line. And, also it allows you to earn rewards. We just wanted to reward you for being the OGs, the first, the ones that have supported us this long. And our thanks is, hey, not only do you get the asset back, but there's also that 50% staking reward. And that's in Minter tokens. So you get every month for 12 months, there's 50%. So, 50% of the $100 in Minter token that you have are just dropped to your wallet. Okay. And you have those tokens. It's just a reward. It's similar to like staking. If you go to crypto.com or some of these other platforms, it's very similar to that. So that was like a reward.
But understand, crypto.com works with the United States government. Gemini works with the United States government. I've staked with Gemini. I stake with crypto.com. I also stake with this thing called BlockFi. And you know what I got when I staked and I got rewards in all three of those? Tax forms from the United States government. Tax forms from the U.S. government. So be aware. It's not like those. This is not registered with anyone.
We want to give you. And then on top of that, if you own 25 or more, which I know a lot of you get excited about, there's a transaction fee you guys get to participate in. And,
kind of like a dividend on sales. That's what they're really saying. It's a dividend on sales if you own a certain amount of the security.
Knows what that will be. I believe StarStake's going to be wildly successful and we'll go on to do some amazing things together. But I can't predict the future. I can't promise it. I can't give guarantees. That's not my place. My lawyers will slap me in the face if I say that.
He just literally said he cannot guarantee profits. You've seen videos before. I've cataloged on this channel. I think everything is pretty much told the uneducated, unqualified investor that there's a guarantee of profits. It's kind of funny what he's saying right there. Just saying. And remember, it's a DeFi organization, completely decentralized. There's no need for lawyers. No one's in charge. There's no CEO. Just taking their own words, telling you what's going on.
But I believe that. Tarek believes that. I know many of you believe that. And if you believe that, then that's going into this, that should be your mindset. And so that 25, if you own 25, you get a piece of that 2% transaction fee of every time somebody cashes out. So when somebody sells their NFT buck and they make some money and they want to cash that out to buy Christmas presents or whatever it is.
I want to rewind that because I want you to hear that whole clip again.
.com or some of these other platforms, it's very similar to that. So that was like a reward that we wanted to give you. And then on top of that, if you own 25 or more, which I know a lot of you get excited about, there's a transaction fee you guys get to participate in. And, who knows what that will be. I believe StarStake's going to be wildly successful and we'll go on to do some amazing things together. But I can't predict the future. I can't promise it. I can't give guarantees. That's not my place. My lawyers will slap me in the face if I say that. But I believe that. Tarek believes that. I know many of you believe that. And if you believe that, then that's going into this, that should be your mindset. And so that 25, if you own 25, you get a piece of that 2% transaction fee of every time somebody cashes out. So when somebody sells.
Remember, the word believe is traditionally put with religion. So this is almost made a religion of sorts. The word believe is not believe you, believe me. In this context, it's being used as a almost religious rite in I Believe, because they've created a community. And again, this is built on NRGY, which was all about a community bank. And if you want to watch anything on NRGY, please just Google NRGY, and then you'll see a video about it being a community bank. And maybe we'll get there in the future, because that's what this is really trying to be. Again, it's the fourth evolution of the NRGY token.
NFT buck and they make some money and they want to cash that out to buy Christmas presents or whatever it is. There's a 2% transaction fee that you all get to share, and that's just for this lot of NFTs. So it was a really cool, fun way for us to get around having to go through kind of the
again, positioning towards people. I hate to go back to this. A reasonable expectation of profits.
Friction, crypto markets and staking and all that, and just say all you have to do is have one of these in your wallets. We can build the code and develop it so you can get those types of.
Wait, they're building the code. I thought this wasn't a company. I was told this was a DeFi organization, but someone's building the code. Come on, guys, get with the script.
Just for owning this. And of course, if you sell it to someone else, guess what? They get those rewards. Keep that.
Yes, asset-backed security.
Fine. If you transfer a Mission NFT to someone else, okay, the Minter tokens that are in the contract also go along with that. So at the end of 3 years, they can burn that mission NFT and take those Minter tokens out if they wish.
Now, remember, just like our friend NRGY, at the end of 3 years, let's see what's happened in the last year here. It went from worth $300 all the way down to almost a third of that now. So just be aware.
They can earn the rewards. So depending on where that's at, they'll earn the rewards. So it's just all kind of like, some people are like, oh, I want to sell these. But I'm like, okay, do you really realize that the amount of Minter tokens in there is the opening price of Minter? It will never be this price again, as far as I'm.
Remember, I hate to bring it back. A reasonable expectation of profits.
As far as being like an open price, okay? Because once revenue starts rolling in starstake, those Minter tokens are going to go into the treasury, right? Dollars turns into Minter tokens used to stabilize the stardex and other components of starstake. That helps increase the value of Minter, okay?
Price goes up. Lawyers said you can't say price goes up, and you just said price goes up. Again, I'm going to play this. I'm going to go back a little bit because I don't want anything taken out of context. So I'm taking it back a couple seconds. I'll play it through till the next point.
This price, again, as far as I'm concerned, as far as being like an open price, okay? Because once revenue starts rolling in starstake, those Minter tokens are going to go into the treasury, right? Dollars turns into Minter tokens used to stabilize the stardex and other components of starstake. That helps increase the value of Minter, okay? This is not a Minter is not a coin that we're putting out to the world. Say, hey, trade our coin, buy our coin, buy our. You'll never hear that from me. Okay?
Because that would be true DeFi. Trade our coin, buy our coin. That's true DeFi. It's on a decentralized exchange. Just think about that for a second.
I don't need to say it. I don't want to say it because we need to use that inside of starstake. But at the same time, you guys get the opportunity to hold that, own that, have that, kind of like having a piece of this financial economy that we're building, that we're all going to contribute.
I think that's a really good point that you mentioned, that Minter token, as far as I'm aware, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, Chris, but as far as I am aware, Minter coin was never a coin that was meant to be like launched to the public as in like, here, come and buy this. It was always designed for the utility to stabilize the financial system of starstake. And then the idea came later to, hey, why don't let people hold this and participate in that growth as well? Am I right in thinking that?
Give them an expectation of profits. Participate in growth. Keyword.
Yes. If I had it my way, I would not let it be traded. I would not put it on exchanges. You know,
that makes it not DeFi. Chris literally just said, I'm going to go back again because I want you to hear this. If he had it his way, the CEO of starstake who created all this, if he had it his way, he would not put it on exchanges. Good God. Continuing on, let's go back a little bit. I want you to hear that again in full.
Here, come and buy this. It was always designed for the utility to stabilize the financial system of starstake. And then the idea came later to, hey, why don't let people hold this and participate in that growth as well? Am I right in thinking that?
Yes. If I had it my way, I would not let it be traded. I would not put it on exchanges. You know, it's just not, unfortunately, it's not how you can do it, but we really
That's not how you can do it in their interpretation legally. I'd love to see this hold up in court. Just say. Love to see this. And again, if anybody needs any of this, I am saving everything they're doing. So feel free to email me at nopantsprofits@gmail.com. I'm happy to send you any video they've ever made in a full and unedited form.
wanted to keep it in-house to where it's what we use to stabilize. It's what we use to build the stardex, which is like the index inside when you start earning in there. But
I want to translate that because I actually found something kind of interesting. So this is based on NRGY, this is just NRGDefi.com. And I've made a separate video on this, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom, remember it's stabilizing the coin and stabilizing rewards. You hit overview, go down to page 13, 4, 5, 6. This is exactly what's going on here. Where do rewards come from? That's for Builder. Staking NRGY is not risk-free. Are they saying this in the call to anyone? No. Rewards are only created when new liquidity is added. If new liquidity is not added, weekly rewards decline. Now, here, the rewards aren't declining, but the value of the coin is going to decline. If the money doesn't come in and make new coins, then you have a problem. This is all based on the same coin. So what they're saying is if the liquidity doesn't come in, meaning new money come in, then the rewards go down or the value of the coin goes down because you cannot issue coins out of nowhere and have them have value. That's not how math works.
Also, I knew that people would love what we built. Like I felt wholeheartedly confident that people would see the work and the time, the year and a half of time that we put into all of this. I know a lot of you watching this know this, but in that comes like, how can I get a deeper connection, right? Like that's what we're about. It starts as how do we build these connections between fans and and creators, and we being the creator now, we want to connect you to us in a way that because we know you want that. So this was that mechanism. But we went so much farther, Tarek. I want to talk about this now. We know the benefits. Okay, so there's different rarities of MS1s. You've got the Halo rarity. You've got the purple rarity, right, and the red rarity. And so these are.
So this is just NFT BS right now. We're going to listen to it and see if there's anything good here, but they're literally just talking about photos and creating rarity in photos, and 7 out of the 7,000 are called legendary. I do want to let you know on their private community, they're trying to get views on this video on their private community, so if you do say Star Stakers Assemble, you're going to enter to win a rare NFT.
This is R class, P class, H class. That's kind of how we built the 3 rarities. And then you also have legendaries, and the legendaries are very, very special. I mean, they're all special, but we know what the utility is. We know where they're going to be used. And being that there's 700, maybe less now, 700 left. Okay. The demand for this is going to be even more so just because of all that utility I just explained and all the things you get with that. But now we kind of start to roll into how did we take it one step further of creating the lore? What do those really mean? What are they doing? There's a lot going on with those mission NFTs you guys don't.
Story time! Story time! Story time! We're going to listen to this. I don't know if this is super important. This is not something I've pre-listened to, but let's go ahead. Let's listen to the lore together.
Realize.
Yeah.
And we're about to launch a game that I believe is going to shock the world.
They're about to launch a contest, which he believes is going to shock the world, which not only runs afoul of securities law, but probably runs afoul of contest law. If you know anything, let's talk about McDonald's for a minute. McDonald's no longer does, you remember Monopoly in the US? They no longer do that because it became a disaster with contest law. There was actually a whole movie about how people tried to scam the McDonald's Monopoly game. But remember, you have to be able to enter contests that are done in the United States for free. It's in the fine print. It's in the terms and conditions. I wonder if you could enter this for free. So let's go back and listen.
Show how not only can NFTs give access to something that's really exciting, but it's a mechanism for you to explore. It's a way for you to explore StarStake rather than me saying, hey, go buy a buck, go over here and do this and go do that. And hey, creator, do that. You can just explore and be rewarded for exploration. It's a treasure hunt in ways. It's a game. You should play together. You don't have to play together. You can squad up, do whatever you want. More details will come out later, but it's an experience of exploration. So Tark, maybe explain how we went about creating this entire storyline with Mission NFTs.
Yeah, that's part of what I relish as being in the creative position that I'm in here with StarStake is, and Chris has said to me, he was like, Tarek, just like let your imagination run wild. I'm like, oh, careful there. If you ask for that, you're gonna get it. It's gonna go in all kinds of directions. And he was like, nope. If we're doing the space theme, then let's triple down on it. Let's go all the way. And that was the decision, and that's how Vel came about. Your vocally enhanced logistics liaison for everything. And all of this story and this narrative richness spills and seeps into every aspect of StarStake. And when it came to the technology, you might hear that and go, okay, wait, a year and a half, that doesn't sound like very long. I mean, well, actually, if you see the amount of hours that have been put in, it's probably more like 3 or 4 years really in that time. However, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening behind the scenes. And how do you explain that this, motley crew of creative, visionary developers and dreamers, right, come together to build something and solve these technological challenges.
Again, they're trying to sell their background here. Let's talk about NRGY. Let's talk about Builder DeFi. Let's talk about NRGY. That's what's really going on here.
That, as to my knowledge, no other platform has really been able to do, not in the same way. It must be some kind of intervention from Star Systems, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. How else do you have this technology? And so really going with that, we created this whole...
Anybody who knows technology understands there's not really any technology here. This is an asset-backed NFT. People have done this before. Give me the royalty part, give me all that. Show me it actually works, show me it actually be popular. Then we might agree it's technology. But I don't think it's going to get there.
Narrative of why starstake is, how starstake has come to be, and also what your role in that is. Like, what does it mean to be a star staker? Is it somebody who just uses a platform? Or is a star staker deeper than that? Is there a sense of altruism?
So we talked about this before. This is pushing the cult philosophy a little bit further. Again, you don't want people to get outside news. Just by you watching this video, you're breaking the rules of being a star staker, because you're only supposed to listen to that centralized organization. Don't listen to anybody else's logic. Don't listen to anybody else's facts.
Is there a sense of being there for a greater good? Delivering on a larger level, being more of service, and are these values important? Now we feel they are, and we feel that as you explore the platform, as you move through the game, you're going to get a tangible sense of that, a palpable feeling that there's more going on here than meets the eye. That
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Transformers, robots in disguise.
Into all of the artwork for the Mission Series 1. I can just tell you, without telling you, that there's more there than meets the eye. And there's a lot more encoded into these pieces of artwork than is immediately apparent. And it will be very relevant to the game. So depending on the rarity class you have, depending on if you...
The cool thing is I do actually know someone who came to me who has one of these NFTs and says, I am welcome to borrow it to play the game. So we'll be playing the game here on No Pants Profits. So just FYI.
Legendary or not, or if you're part of a squad or clan or group where somebody's sharing the information from a legendary with other people. Like, there's so many ways of approaching this, but we really wanted to create an experience that bleeds into the real world. You know, we've had this question like, well, did you use a game engine? Is it built on Unreal? And it's like, this is your game engine, right?
Yeah.
The world around you is the game engine. It is a real game in the sense that it interacts with your actual life while also exploring the starstake platform, while also teaching you about the tools and the technology. And
hey, look, I don't hate the idea. It's an interesting idea and concept. Again, I don't hate the idea of starstake. Transact in money, only take money from qualified investors. Starstake's fine. Now, would you be able to get the MLM network effect pyramid scheme there? No, but, you know, the core technology, the core idea, not bad. It's when crypto comes into play. And the main reason I'm doing this is, look, I love crypto. I've got a ledger with crypto right here. The more people are getting into things like NRGY and NRGY and Builder and being told, on Builder, seriously, I'm not making this up, people were told to take lines of credit out on their house and they could pay their mortgage back faster. This is the kind of crap that's making Bitcoin go down. I like Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a limited supply. It's truly decentralized. I don't believe that Ethereum is truly decentralized and that'll come out. I like Dogecoin. Dogecoin is truly decentralized, but this is what's giving a bad name to crypto, stuff like this.
I think it's going to be a really beautiful ride for everybody involved.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We didn't want to create a game that was just, hey, go to the internet or play a game. It was about exploration, and it was a way for us to allow people to explore and discover starstake on their own, but also to use the world around them. And if you've seen the movie Ready Player One, the Steven Spielberg movie, I suggest you watch it. If you haven't, it will.
Ready Player Win. We talked about this in a past video, and we assumed that's what they were going for.
Ready Player One is kind of in a virtual reality environment, but it's a treasure hunt in the same way. If you watch that, you'll start to understand kind of where we're going. And we wanted to create our own version of that, but not only on the digital world, but in the physical world around you. And so by having one of these mission NFTs, it's going to be your ticket to the game. You'll be able to play. You're going to need that. But there's other things. All these rarities, Tarek, actually play into this. Every rarity is important to the outcome of this game, and you getting through there to find that 1 million token that we hit.
Again, probably goes against contest rules. Just saying.
There in the world, it's a reward. It's a token. That's all it is. It's minter tokens, and there's also NFTs, and there's physical prizes, and there's all this cool stuff to help you just have fun, play, win, and
Contest law, contest law. Remember, you need to pay $100 to play. Pay to play, pay to play. Contest law.
But there is a lot of story that you're going to discover, which really makes it fun. Of like who are these elders? Like, what are these legendaries? And I don't think, I did see Tark. This blows my mind. Is one of the actually doesn't blow my mind when people understand how valuable it is. The legendary that was up on OpenSea yesterday. I think it's up there still today for 25 ETH. Somebody got it. There's 7 I think available, or 8 available, and it was put up on OpenSea for 20. I think that's undervalued. If you understood it,
he's saying it's worth less than 25 Ethereum. Which, let me give you the current price of Ethereum. The current price of Ethereum is $1,251. Let's just do a calculator. 25 times 1251. He literally just said that NFT is worth more than $31,000. No expectation of profits, though.
Value and how it's going to play in the outcome of this game, and the possibility of having advantage or having, something you might need. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things I'm not going to say anymore, but there is a lot of value there. So these are super rare. But the elders, and I'm going to have Tarek read something. He's got something super cool. We didn't want to really announce it, release it, but we are going to share something with you. And that's some backstory and some of the things that we've created with, literally the elders being the 7 or 8 legendaries that we have. They play into.
Remember, they've admitted this whole NFT game was created in the last 3 months. They say it's going to launch holiday time 2022. Take that as you will. A lot of stores are already in holiday return policies. Apple, Amazon, everybody lets you return things for a long time. So take that as you will.
Story of how we got this technology, of how StarState came about, and how you get to play into being the hero, and how you get to play into being part of StarState's success by playing the game. You get to be on this journey with us. So Tarek, if you don't mind, I know you got the graphic novel in front of you. I know you've been itching to read this thing. Would you mind just giving him maybe a page or two?
Hey, look, I'll give it this. As Shrek would say, I'm doing a bad Shrek Scottish accent. This thing's got layers. The whole thing, it's got layers. It's like an onion. Just saying. Let's hear from the graphic novel. This is my first time hearing this, so you're going to see my genuine reaction to what they're going to say, because I listened to the first 15 or 20 minutes, but I've not heard this yet.
Kind of a snippet of.
Yeah. Do you want me to share screen?
No. Well, you can if you wish. Otherwise, you can just read it. It's fine too.
Okay, let me see here if I can.
Come on. Give me an adult novel. She strokes his member, and it throbs with intensity. I don't know why I've become like Shrek, but she strokes his member, and it grows with an intense passion.
And so this will be coming out, just so you know. So when we launch the game, the graphic novel will also be coming out around the same time. And so you'll be able to, discover this and use this, and you'll have, all this kind of stuff to have. But I just want, Tarek, if you wouldn't mind, just read. It's just amazing.
Sure. So this is part of the backstory, part of the lore of StarStake, and this is just a small section, but just to give you an idea of that this runs deeper than might be immediately apparent. A door-like opening formed, and out came a tree.
Come on, come on. I want to hear the member. I want to hear about the member.
Of cloaked figures. I was waiting to wake up, convinced I must have somehow fallen asleep. It had been a long day. Any moment now, I'd wake up and start my actual walk. But it persisted. I wanted to run, but something fixed my feet in the earth. I couldn't move. The figures drew closer. Then one of them, the closest to me, removed from the cloak from her head and spoke to me. Well, I think she was female, going by the shape of her face and soft voice. She said without
Don't want to offend the LGBTQ plus. So I think she was female. This does kind of read like a smutty novel. I'm listening to this live for the first time. Let's continue.
preamble in what I can only describe as a form of prophetic poetry. We see your path. You made fire. You fashioned tools from stones and sticks. You built homes of timber and bricks. You fashioned engines and machines. You printed words on paper, then lit words onto screens. You connected the planet through an electronic net, yet today many are ensnared in this web. You split the atom and devastated lives, and plundered the lands and seas, and spliced your genes. Now, on the brink of synthetic intelligence, you find yourself at a critical crossroads. Her words were like a time-lapse of the history of humanity, a nostalgic animation that danced in my mind in living color as if she was projecting the last 1,000 years directly into my brain. Inside my mind now she spoke. She said humanity is faced with a choice. She said that we'd given birth to something new, the blockchain. And just as the electronic net can connect or it can ensnare, the blockchain can either shackle or it can free.
So are we trying to say Satoshi's a woman right now? Satoshi, the creator of Bitcoin, the first coin on a blockchain, but I digress.
Swept her hair back, revealing more of her pristine, almost porcelain face, a face unblemished by ills and untouched by time. It's hard to describe. She looked more like a sculpture, skin as smooth as alabaster. The others at her side remained cloaked and stood by, watchful, protective. I didn't get to see their faces. The matriarch spoke again. We see our beloved humanity. Lost it.
My precious. My precious. I'm cloaked. My precious.
Blue-lit slabs of black they hold loyally to their faces. I think she meant our phones. We will advance your technology. We must reach people where they are today, swimming in a world of the digital, and help them find a path back to each other in the real world, in what you call the physical, she said. She now spoke of how with the right technology...
Literally sounding like blockchain porn. I don't know why I'm dressed like Gollum right now, but I had to put on my hood, which is just my shirt. This literally is crypto porn. This is funny. I'm loving this. Thank you, Tariq. Please, continue with your crypto porn. Please say the word member.
We could first use the blockchain to decentralize our world from the centralized powers, loosening their grip and disentangling ourselves from the collars of time and the cuffs of chasing money.
Ooh, the handcuffs of chasing money. Fucking hard.
Which has been holding millions of lives hostage. Many humans are already chained to blocks, she said again aloud, even before what you call the blockchain. She spoke of cubicles and cells and the invisible tethers that keep us bound to lives we're constantly trying to escape from. I can't tell you what I felt in my body, a tingling perhaps, a heightened awareness of this inexplicable...
I think we all know where this is headed. I've never seen this before. You're watching me react live. This is so good.
Moments. Her next words sounded like a paradox, though the more I thought about them afterward, the more they made sense. She said, "We will use the blockchain to break your chains and to remove your blocks." A cold rush ran down my spine like a trickle of ice water.
Oh my god, that's written like an adult novel, and I love it so much. This is my favorite thing Starstake has ever done, as I wear my Hawaiian shirt as a cloak. Help me Starstake One Kenobi. You're my only hope. So good. I'm gonna love this novel. I think I'm gonna have to do a reading of it. It's gonna tell you guys what's going on. It's gonna be glorious. I'm gonna do a dramatic reading of this when it comes out. Because remember, I'll have access because I have access to an NFT.
That's amazing. That gives me like goosebumps when I hear that. So who was that from exactly? So who was he talking about? Who was the narrator talking about there?
So that was when one of the elders first came and delivered both the technology, but also the message and the mission behind the technology. Because having the technologies, it's like that old adage goes, right? It's not the weapon, it's the hand that wields it. So it's not the technology.
It's not the weapon, it's the hand that wields it. Hey, look, I've been playing with my jerry rig everything box cutter. It's not the weapon, it's the hand that wields it. Remember, if you get this joke, you're my kind of people. It's not the weapon when you have the box cutter. You want to go down the road, not across the street. Those who get that joke, you're my people.
It's the hands who hold it. And that was one of the elders, Selah. And that's her right now on screen.
So this is one of the legendary mission NFTs, the rare ones, Selah. And Selah is kind of one of the ones that's being talked about, the elders in the narrative that the Tark just read to you. And this
wrote and read to you. He's the chief creative officer at a not company called Starstake.
It's really important because this plays a significant amount into the outcome of what's going to happen with the game.
Tarek, you have I felt it. Please, write some adult novels, Tarek.
And the advantage, and if you're lucky enough to get one of these, you have a decision to make. You have something, a crossroads in yourself. You could either hold on to it, which it might play into a big part of you winning the game, perhaps, or you could sell it probably for a good amount of money. But which amount is more? Which would be more valuable? I can't tell you what that is, but I will tell you if you own one of these, it's extremely important.
I'll tell you what it is. Sell it. Sell it. If you can find a sucker that's going to pay you $31,000 for it, sell it. You bought it for $100. They're going to pay you $31,000. Sell it.
And so in that, we just wanted to say that we appreciate you all. And I know those of you that have these, we're in the process actually of creating a brand new gallery for your mission NFTs. So inside of StarStake, if you go to Stake Hub, we will be launching a new gallery probably within a week and a half or so. That gallery will allow you to see your mission NFTs much larger, get the token IDs, link to OpenSea, like just the user interface will be much easier. We just wanted to get these minted to get.
Remember, StarStake is going to launch in a week. Again, I want to let you know it is the 16th of November 2022. It's 3:05 a.m. Eastern time, so you know the timelines here.
Out there because we knew V1 of StarStake is rolling out here within a week or so. So we just wanted to make sure that we got that out, and now we're going to create a really cool interface within for you to also view them and check them out. But we wanted to do something even more special this week. Just as we start to go through this, I recommend if you have the ability. I know we have, I think it's roughly around 700
About
left.
700.
700 is to grab any more that you feel that you want to have in your collection. If you feel it's of value to you, if you don't do it. If you don't have the means, certainly don't do it. But if you feel that.
Remember, only invest what you can lose. And a lot of these people that have been in here for a long time have lost a lot. I don't want to spoil anybody's identity or anything like that, but I've had people that have said they've invested with these guys in the past and they've lost $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. I've had people that told me they tried to take out $60,000 worth of Builder today, which is the coin that this is all based on, and there's no liquidity in that contract. There's $3,000 of liquidity in that smart contract, in that liquidity pool. So there's $3,000 in liquidity, meaning if you took out $60,000, you would cut the price in half. And they were told not to take it out. They reach out to me. If you want to reach out to me, I will protect your identity. Again, nopantsprofits@gmail.com. Reach out. Let's talk. Let's figure out what's going on. I'm with you. I'm not just making fun of this. I want no people to get involved in it, but if you're already involved in it, I want to see what I can do to help you out.
This is something that, like, oh, I'm part of history. I have the ability to have something the number one. Now would be the time to do it. But in doing that, we're also going to spread the word of this. We want to spread the word of starstake rolling out. We want to spread the word of mission NFTs and all this great message that we're trying to get out there. And so we're going to hold a
I'll tell you, the best marketing they got, this guy right here, doing a great job. So many people come to me, tell me more about starstake. Explain what you mean by security. Explain why that's a problem. Everything like that. Explain what's really going on here. I'm doing some great marketing. Again, I'm open. If you want to go legit and do this in cash and make sure everybody's a qualified investor and do this the right way, I'm actually a pretty genius marketer. I don't do the fancy graphics like Tariq does, but I'm actually a pretty damn good marketer. So my services are available for purchase if we were to take this all on the up and up and do it the right way.
contest. This right here is Selah. Selah is one of the elders. This is a legendary mission NFT. One of
I think we're learning how they're going to sell out the last 700 now. They're trying to tell, they can't get any new people in, so they're trying to convince the people that have already bought at least one, or like we said, the average is about 20. They're trying to convince them to buy more NFTs.
Seven
essentially on the blockchain that has been minted. And we're going to give this away. We're going to give it away to the one person that wins this contest. And this is just kind of a fun thing, a gratitude contest. And all you'll have to do is share your mission NFT that you purchase. So if you purchased a mission NFT, you have to purchase it. So if you don't own it and you're going to try to cheat, we will find you. Selah will find you. They will hunt you down. No.
I want to listen to that again. Hold on.
A gratitude contest, and all you have essentially on the blockchain that has been minted. And we're going to give this away. We're going to give it away to the one person that wins this contest. And this is just kind of a fun thing, a gratitude contest. And all you'll have to do is share your mission NFT that you purchase. So if you purchased a mission NFT, you have to purchase it. So if you don't own it and you're going to try to cheat, we will find you. Selah will find you. They will hunt you down. No, but just, I mean, look, you do everybody a favor. If you're going to share somebody else's, it's fine, I guess. But if you have a mission NFT, we're going to, and you'll have the contest details in a day or so, is all you'll have to do is go onto social media. I think it'll be Instagram probably.
We're going to look over the terms and conditions of that because I think that's interesting.
Or other places. And hashtag, we'll tell you what that hashtag is here soon. And by doing that, we're going to create a voting system. So all of us and everybody else out there, you can tell your friends, hey, come vote for my mission NFTs, come vote. Whoever votes on the best design that they like out there on social media, then the winner with the most votes, we are going to give away this legendary Selah mission NFT, which I can't even tell you how valuable this is. It's crazy valuable. Okay.
Well, I mean, he said $31,000 earlier because another legendary is selling for 25 ETH, which is currently $31,000 and change.
So that's it. All we're going to do is the contest is going to be about sharing. So don't start yet. I know you're excited. Don't go out there yet. I'll put up the page. You'll have the contest details. All you'll have to do is take a screenshot or download the picture of your mission NFT, put it on starstake or put it on social media and put the hashtag with it, which I'll announce. And then what starstake means to you. Tark, if you want to maybe say like what to include with that.
Yeah, so
that'd be great.
I mean, we realize that in many ways it's a lottery, right? It's the luck of the draw, whichever NFTs you got. Obviously, if you minted 25 or more, then you have a few to select from. However, you know, some people might have only minted one or two, and it's not really up to us which ones we get, right? That's part of the fun, in my opinion.
Well, it's not really up to you unless you take this legendary one, which you're telling people is worth $30,000, and give it out not in a random way like NFTs are generally given out. So I just want to point that out.
In the whole NFT world is like, ooh, what did I get? It's kind of like a Kinder Surprise egg, right? You don't know what you're getting inside.
I love it. Tariq, I can work with you. You're funny. You're real funny, Tariq. I like you. And
we wanted to go beyond that, right? I think you've probably realized by now that everything is about going beyond, going a bit deeper. So why is it important to you to be a star staker? Why is being a part of this mission to free creators worldwide special? And if you could just speak from the heart and share why this is important to you, what is special about being here and being.
You guys think I should play the contest? I got access to an NFT. Y'all think I should play the contest? I think that'd be hysterical. I think I'm gonna do it. Just sarcastically, but I think I'm gonna do it.
Part of starstake at this time, in this moment, at this particular juncture in our history. And then that will also be included in the vote. So we're going to be looking at these, and we're going to see who is really digging deep and sharing why this matters. And I just want to say I'm blown away, and I'm super grateful just to see that this culture that we've been feeling is now translating into the wider community, that everybody here is rallying around this cause, is proud to call themselves a star staker, and us included, right? Like, I'm proud to say I'm a star staker, right? It even sounds good to.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Say that I'm a star staker, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yep.
So as you share your artwork and you write the hashtag, what does it mean to be a star staker? Why is that important to you? Why is it special?
Yep. And we'll go ahead and release these details, I believe tomorrow, or whenever that is that you're seeing this video. It should be up, and we'll give you the website to go to. But we just wanted to have everybody share these cool artworks out there and just show the world what we're so proud of. Obviously, when these are sold out, they're sold out, and I'm sure people will, start to attract to want them as well. But we want to start to fill this thing up so we can launch the game next month and really get people involved and get really excited. You guys, I'm so excited by the mission and
I just can't hide it. I know, I want you.
tease that I forget what is even coming. Like, I've almost forgot, like I've almost blocked out of my mind.
There's a whole
how
platform.
Crazy. Yeah, we spent a year and a half building an enormous, ridiculously complex and just beautiful platform with crazy opportunity.
Complex on the inside, easy to use.
Easy to use, but so hard for us to design it because we had to invent this technology. Now, if I'm honest, it came from the elders and from the stars, but
We didn't invent it. It came from the elders in Tariq's little sex novel. Tariq, let's work on some adult books when this fails. You good?
look, we had a little help along the way. It's just, look, I get so excited because everything we do, we try to do of such quality, and it sets us back, yes, and it costs us a ton of money, and it's difficult.
But who's paying that back? Remember, it costs them a ton of money. It's a DeFi thing. There is no company, guys. Haven't you learned this? There's no company. So I don't really know who's paying for this or who's paying it back because there is no company. I think that's very clear. I mean, they're saying, again, you're making an investment of money in a common enterprise. This seems like a common enterprise spending a lot of money. And look at all the work they did. They did a year and a half worth of work for you to make a reasonable expectation of profit. What's going on?
Stressful at times, but we really just wanted to create something that people love. That's what matters to me, you guys. It's not about how many we're going to mint and how much money does it make. Look, as long as we can thrive and build a great company and a great brand and have a product that people love to use, I'm extremely happy. That fulfills me. And this has been a 20.
Hold on. Did they say this is a company? Hold on.
And from the stars, but look, we had a little help along the way. It's just, look, I get so excited because everything we do, we try to do of such quality, and it sets us back, yes, and it costs us a ton of money, and it's difficult and it's stressful at times, but we really just wanted to create something that people love. That's what matters to me, you guys. It's not about how many we're going to mint and how much money does it make. Look, as long as we can thrive and build a great company and a great brand.
No. You want to build a great DeFi community, Chris. Haven't you learned this is not a company? It's a DeFi community. You even say it yourself. God damn.
And have a product that people love to use. I'm extremely happy. That fulfills me. And this has been a 20-year journey for me to build a product like this in a platform. And even sometimes I have to look back and step back and be like, people have no idea how crazy amazing the NFT buck system is going to be. I mean, this holiday season, you should wait.
I have an idea how not crazy amazing it's going to be, but I'm the anti-marketer here, so yeah.
See the founders, the launch NFT buck artwork that's about to drop here in about a week.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing. I mean, it's literally like I would want them all over my wall. Like, that's how beautiful and intricate.
Like that giant Elon Musk one that's already on his wall. That they're giving people an expectation that Elon's involved and there's a reasonable expectation of profit. Just saying.
And gorgeous they are.
Can you
and
imagine
they're
t-shirts?
NFT bucks.
Can you imagine t-shirts for
oh
those?
my God.
It makes such
like
good t-shirts.
Yeah, it's just, but it's an NFT.
They can't even sell the last 700. And they're talking crazy like this. It's Wednesday. Launched on Saturday. They can't even sell the last 700. But this is going to change the world.
Buck, like it's a form of like money that you can use in starstake to buy other people's stuff, or you could just turn it back into USDC, and there's just so much function there, and you can go in and play with that, and you can be like, oh, I like that art, but oh, maybe I don't like that art, so I can just get my money back and I can get a different one, or I can spend it, or like maybe they're like, oh shoot, I wish I wouldn't have spent that because it was rare or something. So it's so cool how that works, and I'm so excited about that. But at the same time, I'm so excited about mission NFTs in this game. And then on top of that, we've got starstake NFTs, which are these amazing mothership NFTs, which are super advanced, that have royalties and rewards, and you're going to see all kinds of creators.
Royalties. Non-accredited investors, royalties. Again, what are royalties? A reasonable expectation of profit.
Amazing things, yourselves included. So there's just so much happening. It's like, man, I kind of wish, like, did we plan this right? Like, we have so many things happening at one time now. It's just, maybe it is right. It's the holidays and giving. And look, I'm just so happy to be able to get it to you that sometimes I have to step back, Tarek. And I know you probably feel the same way. Like, did we just do that? Did we really pull that off?
Yeah, I've had that feeling a few times. I'm like, oh wow, like it's a thing. They're out there. Like they're in people's hands now. That artwork that we were staying up many a night to create. It's like it's there.
But remember, think back to about an hour ago. They literally said the artwork doesn't matter. It's just a vehicle to get the utility on people's hands. It's a vehicle to get the minter coins in people's hands. The artwork didn't matter, and they're smiling about the artwork. And Tariq, again, I want you to write an adult novel for me. Tariq's excited about the novel, which there's a member that's going to be stroked by the novel.
Out there, it's in people's hands. And actually, on that note, once those 7,000 sell out, people are going to be coming to the holders of those in order to get them to access the game. So,
please, sir, I'd like some more.
Right now, there's over 700 people in the community. There's 700 NFTs left. If everybody just got one more, right, then not only would we mint out, but now you become that focal point for all of the people when they hear about the game and people start to get wind of what we're creating here.
They're literally begging people to spend another $100. Think about that for a second. Spend another 100. Now, what's funny is, since these videos have started coming out, they've locked down their community. Now you have to answer why you want to be a member of their community. Everybody's locked a lot of stuff down in starstake since little old No Pants has been peeking around. So that makes it a lot harder to build a community when you lock up that community. Just saying.
I mean, you can go out and buy NFTs right now on the open market, but they don't give you access to all kinds of things necessarily. So this is your entry ticket. This is your Willy Wonka golden ticket to play the starstake mission game. And your Willy Wonka,
pending contest rules,
You're the one who has the golden tickets, and people are going to be coming to you saying, "Can you please give me one? Can you please sell me one? I'll give you this much for it." And that's a very unique position to be in.
Yeah. That you are the gatekeepers, you're the ticket holders, and that was by design. Some people say, well, Chris, why would you limit it to 7,000 if you want everybody to have exposure to StarStake or to play this game? Well, look, we have 7,000, and a lot of people own many of these, several. But it's now what's going to happen is people are going to come in that aren't here now, later, that want to be part of this. Maybe they want to be a launch artist. Maybe they want to play the game. You're the ones that get to allow them the access or not. It's up to you. And it creates more value for the NFTs and the...
I want to be very clear. Again, we're rewinding back an hour. They said for now you need the NFT to become a launch artist, but that's not true in the future. So if this were to take off, again, I'm being very facetious. If this were to take off, well then, if Snoop Dogg were to come to them, I bet you Snoop Dogg wouldn't need an Access NFT. So, I mean, and I guarantee you, this is called Mission Series 1. I guarantee you there's going to be a Mission Series 2 real soon.
Ecosystem, it creates more value and demand for StarStake. It creates more curiosity. It creates more attention. So it's something that we thought, hey, let's do things different, kind of like how we do here at StarStake. Let's make our own rules, you guys. Like, we're not trying to be in anyone's box. We're not trying to be any other.
Hey, that's what Alan did. He tried to make his own rules. And he got tied up with the CFTC. And someone else that StarStake is involved with, called Dwayne Noble. That's his not real name. His real name is Byron Sneeringer. Byron Sneeringer and Dwayne Noble tried to build their own box. That's why they're not using their real name and they're not front and center. And Alan Friedland as well. But I digress.
NFT, and I cannot tell you, even my developers are say, Chris, no, we can't do it that way. We got to launch it like this. We got to launch it like they did it. We got to do like they did it, because that's just how it's been done. And I said, no, we are doing our own thing, how we're going to do it. I don't care if NFT people that are used to buying NFTs aren't going to like it. That's not who we're trying to.
We're not trying to get crypto people involved. Again, I'm gonna go back a second. He's literally saying we're not trying to get crypto people involved here.
How it's been done. And I said, no, we are doing our own thing, how we're going to do it. I don't care if NFT people that are used to buying NFTs aren't going to like it. That's not who we're trying to cater towards. I want everybody to play and like this, right? I don't want just the crypto people. No. And so we're building our own box to be in our own category.
Because the crypto people can see this as a Ponzi scheme. You can't print money forever. You can't give 50% rewards and the value of the token not go down. Again, they've pitched this same thing over and over. NRGY was the backbone. Hold up, you're going to love this. You know what NRGY was the backbone of? Infinity NFTs. What are NFTs? What's an Infinity NFT? Hey, look, wait, hold on. You want to be a new income? Hey, look, NRGY's the backbone of StarStake. Old logo, not new logo. And that's gone. Boom! Down 88.5% from its all-time high. That's why no one from crypto is going to get in bed with these people.
We will be our own category kings. I believe it firmly. The talent here at StarStake, the creativity, all of the things are aligned. You know, we just had a talk with our lawyer, and, you know, he's done a great job making sure that everything is in line and in tune with doing things the right way. And we may not say things the right way because we get so excited sometimes. So we realize, oh, I kind of overstepped my boundary there, saying something the wrong way. But look, we're a startup. We're doing a great job, I think, initially.
You're not a company. I don't know what you're not understanding here, Chris. You're a decentralized finance. You're not a company. You're not a startup. That's not saying it because you're excited. He said the word company. He said the word startup. If they are a company, they have to raise this money from qualified investors only. People who have over $1 million in assets plus their house, or have made over $200,000, $200 or $250,000, depending on whether you're married or not, or $300,000 if you're married. It depends on some definitions over the past few years. They're not making sure of anything. They're just saying, give me $100 in Ethereum.
We have some great people on the team that can help steer us in the right direction to make sure we do exactly what we're intending to do. Is it going to be perfect? Of course not. No technology launch is ever perfect. No company is ever perfect in the beginning, but we've got the right people.
Not a company, Chris. Not a company. Your lawyer should tell you that. DeFi community. Not a company. You're a DeFi community. Let's say it together. DeFi community.
Behind us, the right talent, the right experts to be able to pull off what I think is the unthinkable. And I can tell you, for those of you that are like, oh, there's no artists on there. Well, first of all, we haven't launched. Okay, so what you see on StarStake is not what will be, but we are rolling out features. The Bucks will be first, and Stake Hub and Creator Hub will be launching at the same time. Artists will start coming in, and then we'll be holding workshops and holding training for those artists and their agents and managers who we're already in contact with to help them create their assets. Right. So I believe StarStake is so simple to use. It's not about how to use StarStake. It's quite linear. It's step 1, step 2, step 3. But it's why should I create this NFT for my album? Why should I attach royalties? Why should I give fan rewards? Why should I create access?
And the strategy
and so
of that.
That's the strategy behind a platform like this is really key. And that's what our responsibility to do that. So you'll start to see that, and then we'll open up launch, and then you'll see all these things go live in the marketplace at the same time, and we'll do all kinds of crazy fun things from there. But right now we're at the first pebble in the pond, as I say, and we're creating the ripples, and you guys are all part of it. So I'm super excited to have you. Tark and I know we're at like 40 minutes. I just wanted to come on here and chit chat with everybody, kind of have a candid conversation. Tark, do you have anything else for the viewers here?
Just that I genuinely believe we're all part of something much bigger, that this transcends technology. This is much more than just a platform, because the vision for the platform is to empower creators and brands and rising stars to be able to have the means and the...
I love the vision for the platform. I never said I haven't. I even said very clearly in a couple of videos, if you do this legally, not in crypto, I'm in. I'd be one of your biggest promoters. A guy wearing no pants. But you're doing this because you can't do it legally. Even Chris has clearly said it's illegal. I mean, let me see if I can find let me see if I can find this. I want to show you this. I apologize for my delay. Don't think I'm going to be able to find it right now. Open recent. Yeah. I apologize. I'm not going to be able to find that right now. But even Chris has said, they can't do it with cash. Because if they do it with cash, that's not legal for non-accredited investors.
Resources that they deserve through the rewards of being supported loyally by their communities, by their audiences, and to create an ecosystem that is genuinely a new paradigm of prosperity where everyone wins. Like, I've had people look at this who I've shown this and they're like, wait a minute, so who's losing here? I'm like, no one. Everyone wins. It's one of...
Who's losing here? Valid question. Well, you're doubling the amount of tokens people are buying. So if you don't at least double your amount of money that you're bringing, well, you're 1.5 times again. So we're going to do some basic back of napkin math, because I think this is important. And we're going to assume some stuff. Okay, so let's talk about Minter coins, all right? So they're taking in 7,000 NFTs at $100 a piece. Now remember, this is designed as a affiliate program. So a majority of people are not buying this themselves. They're being referred by others. They say you got to get back with the people who referred you, make sure we respect the loyalty and everything. So they're paying out 10% first level and 5% second level of what they're taking in. So that's 85% is staying in the ecosystem, staying in Minter tokens. So we're gonna say that, let's say that even a let's say times 0.93. Okay, so there's 651,000 in the piggy. So starting out, dividing amongst those 7,000 NFTs, really your $100 that's in every NFT, and I'm being kind here, is actually worth $93 in cash. Now, Remember, they're saying that over time, important, that over time, you're going to get, in a year, you're going to get 50% more. So we're going to go 93 times 1.5. 139. They've taken in $700,000 just in order to pay out that 50% more, which is the first level, without fees and other things like that, and not taking into account the cost to build this platform. 139.50 times 7,000 is 976,500, and we'll minus that from the initial 700,000, which again I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. They've got to bring in another 276,000 to pay out the rewards to people who have already gotten in. Now, how are they going to do that? They're likely going to do that with a Mission Series 2 NFT due to the crazy success of Mission Series 1. You've got to pay out an additional 276,000 on top, and again, this is bare minimum. How are you going to bring that money in? You have to take in money from new investors to pay old investors. Literally, type into Google, what is it when you take in money from new investors to pay old investors? I think it's a pretty simple piece of math there. Again, that's back of napkin math, and I've given them the benefit of the doubt. But I think those numbers are correct.
Core tenets. It's one of the core values of StarStake is everyone wins. Everyone's a star. Everything is connected. Everything is transparent. Everything evolves. And
so I have a question. Where's the money to build the actual StarStake app coming from? If there's no developer share, there's nothing like that. I'd love to know where the money to build the app. They're paying for development. They're paying for, you've seen physical events in a casino in Tampa. They actually sponsored an event in Tampa. Where's that money coming from? I think that's interesting. And what kind of stake, if we want to talk about transparency, how many NFTs, how many Minter tokens do all the people involved have? You've not come clean with that.
These values are intrinsic to what StarStake and being a StarStaker is. So you're part of something that goes far beyond the utility and functionality. It's truly about creating more meaningful connections and empowering people in ways that matter. And I think that's what you'll see as all of these artists flood the platform, as all of these new creators start filling Market Hub with all kind of vibrant, colorful artwork and their SNFTs and Access NFTs and NFT bucks. You'll see StarStake go from this already gorgeous, elegant looking platform to truly being a hub of activity and excitement. And you're all a part of it.
Yep. And we've got, just so you know, we've got a backlog of other V2 features from Fan Hub, which will be coming out afterwards. We actually had a meeting internally today about that, where then you'll be able to have your own marketplace for your own assets to show and share and kind of barter on the blockchain, if you will. And
so they're trying to say they're making their own OpenSea, just to translate that. I don't know if he's going to say that, but that's what he's trying to say there.
We've got an amazing drop system. So we've taken what works so well for email and used it in the NFT world. So now you as creators can drop NFTs just like an email for offers and things like that.
I didn't know you were going to announce that.
I know. I'm just going off the cuff here, but
Launch Hub.
We'll do it anyway. Launch Hub, as we call it. So just to be able to market and talk and use NFTs as conversational, kind of integers there. And so we're super excited about that. We've got, oh my gosh, we've got some really aspirational things with StarStake, but starting now is rolling out Bucks, rolling out Creator Hub, getting creators dialed in and used to the interface. Learning also requires us to learn, like, hey, maybe that didn't work as well as we thought, or maybe it did work. And so being able to adjust as we
adapt,
go and adapt, and getting feedback is really important. And then, obviously we let the artists go to town and start selling and doing their thing, and we'll help as much as we can to support them. And we want everybody to be successful. But look, we're also in a market that has been ugly at times, and we're aware of that. There's been the rug pulls of the world, and there's been a lot of big talk of like, hey, they're going to do something great or whatever. And this is the primary reason of why we didn't launch the Minter token months ago. We could have. You guys, this would have been very easy. 8 months.
Because it's just based on NRGY, NRGY Go, and Builder. That's all this is.
Oh, to say, hey, look at like what we're building with starstake, buy this token and it's going to.
They did that. They did that. Hold up. Crest. NRGY financial system. Again, this document can be gotten. I'll show you. If you go to NRGY DeFi, scroll all the way to the bottom, hit discover and hit overview. They did. They didn't do it with Minter. They did it with another coin. Problem is, there's too many articles on Beyond MLM and tying we don't talk about Alan's name to this and everything like that. But look, it's a decentralized DApp economy ecosystem. They sold people on buying NRGY because of infinity NFTs, because of royalties, because of income-based distribution, new licensing. How do they work? They sold a starstake coin. They just called it by a different name. Starstake's even in it. And let's talk about what that coin did that they sold a couple years ago. Well, you know, let's talk about what that coin's done. Opened at 115. The high of $319, March 13th, 2022, 8 months ago. And now, currently, we are sitting at an all-time low 11 hours ago. You did launch a coin. It's called NRGY. You promised people NRGY was going to be the starstake DApp use case. It's the same thing over and over. Come on, guys.
Great. We didn't do that because, look, we just know that that's the industry. That's the way things are typically done. And what happens is they sell a token and they rarely are able to deliver the utility, the platform, the vision, what they have. And I'm not saying the visions are bad. There's some very amazing projects out there. It's just, you guys, this stuff is so hard. I mean, so hard to do. Web3 stuff is on a different level. It is so tricky. It's dangerous in the fact that as a company, you have wallets and you got to.
Not a company, Chris. God. A decentralized community. It's not a slip up from the lawyer. They're actually a company. They're operating outside of the securities law. This is a security. They're selling a security. Again, look at the Howey test. Look at everything we've said. Is this an investment of money? Yes. It's designed as... Ethereum is defined as currency by the U.S. federal government. I said a word that sounds like... Siri made her angry. Ethereum is designed as currency. Is it a common enterprise? Yes, there's a company. Is there a reasonable expectation of profit? They're trying to say there is. And is it derived from the efforts of others? This company has been building for a year and a half, and they're the ones that saying everybody wins. So yes, as per the Howey test, it qualifies as a security, which is against U.S. securities law. Plus, they've done an ICO inside of an NFT or an initial coin offering, which initial coin offerings are against securities law. Not a company. Keep saying the word company.
Hear that stuff. You got a financial system now, basically acting like the bank. So you have to put all these protocols in place to secure that and make sure you got the right people. So, you know, they don't get in there into the code. There's a lot of things that go into this. So I understand why they don't launch them, but it's unfortunate. And what happens is the people that buy those coins early, they end up suffering because they just couldn't pull it off or they ran out of cash, which in any business is typically how it goes, right? You just run out of money. And so the nice thing about this is we built starstake first. We had it working. We had everything in place. We have it working. And now we're like, hey, if you want to buy a Mission NFT, this is your entry. Like if you're ready to go, here's the product. There's no like, by the way, we're going to do this a year later, because we just knew that that had been kind of the sentiment.
I want to note this is at least the second version of starstake. I've seen an earlier version of starstake. I'll link the early version of starstake below so you can kind of see the early version of starstake. So, yeah.
In the industry, and we didn't want to play in that box. That sandbox is not our box. We want to create our own narrative, our own story.
Let me back up a bit.
We had everything in
because I said a little bit.
You got to secure that stuff. You got a financial system now, basically acting like the bank. So you have to put all these protocols in place.
Hold on. Basically acting like a bank. Did you hear that? Basically acting like a bank. It's a security. This runs afoul of so many U.S. laws. It's insane.
I'm not saying the visions are bad. There's some very amazing projects out there. It's just, you guys, this stuff is so hard. I mean, so hard to do. Web3 stuff is on a different level. It is so tricky. It's dangerous in the fact that as a company, you have wallets and you got to secure that stuff. You got a financial system now, basically acting like the bank. So you have to put all these protocols in place to secure that and make sure you got the right people. So, they don't get in there into the code. There's a lot of things that go into this. So I understand why they don't launch them, but it's unfortunate. And what happens is the people that buy those coins early, they end up suffering because they just couldn't pull it off. Or they ran out of cash, which in any business is typically how it goes, right? You just run out of money. And so the nice thing about this is we built Star.
Is that foreshadowing? Because remember, we did the math. I've got my calculator up still. Just to pay back the initial investors, they've got to bring in an additional $276,000. That's above the platform administration costs. Just to pay back that 50% year over year and keep the coin, Minter coin, stabilized at the same price.
First, we had it working. We had everything in place. We have it working. And now we're like, hey, if you want to buy a Mission NFT, this is your entry. Like, if you're ready to go, here's the product. There's no like, by the way, we're going to do this a year later. Because we just knew that had been kind of the sense.
Then, question, why not have the launch artist on there too? You would have sold it out like this if you would have had your launch artist on there. From what I understand, it's Shang, a couple local musicians from Tampa, and some retired NFL players from the NFL Alumni Association. Again, that's what I understand. They had a couple artists compete in an event in a casino in Tampa, St. Pete. Shang, who's Chris's wife / girlfriend / a Filipino singer who's trying to make it big in the U.S., and they do have some retired NFL players from the NFL Alumni Association. Why not have that live? There's a product, but we know the product exists, but who's going to come on board? And the flip side's going to be, well, because we want to know people that are going to get in early without telling you who the artists are. Okay, well, take that how you like.
In the industry, and we didn't want to play in that box. That sandbox is not our box. We wanted to create our own narrative, our own story that wasn't in that. Of course, people are going to say, oh, they're going to do this or this, that, because I get it. Like, people have been beat up a bit. Like personally, I've lost money in the markets because just things didn't work out. And it's just, you don't know. So all we can do as leaders, all we can do as company owners is try to always do the right thing.
Look, let's be honest. I like Chris as a guy. He's putting a nice persona out. Tariq, nice persona out. But again, they've done this. Not Tariq. I don't know Tariq. Let me be very clear. But Chris has done this before. Chris was involved in Builder. Chris was involved in NRGY. Chris was involved in things before that. These are MLM, network marketing people. Build pyramids. Get them pyramids going down. This is what they do. This is successful. This is successful. This whole video will make me look like a moron. But I don't believe that's true.
People that we're basically, I always tell people, watch our feet, not our mouths. Like personally, I've lost money in the markets because just things didn't work out. And it's just, you don't know. So all we can do as leaders, all we can do as company owners is try to always do the right thing.
Again, not a company. They can be the leader of a decentralized community, but not a company. Lawyer very clearly said not a company, because if they're a company, and all these investments have to go through qualified investors, and then this is a security, not a company.
Show people that we're basically, I always tell people, watch our feet, not our mouths, right? Watch what we do, not what we say. And that's really what we stand behind here is like, watch what we built. Go in there and use it. If it's not true.
And that's fine. That's why I'm trying to provide the critic side and say what's going on. Call me a critic, call me what you will. But the facts are the facts. I've shown things in plain black and white. And many of you from inside the community have come to me personally and said how you feel. Both sides. That I'm a crazy person, that I'm not. I'm reporting this as a journalist. And yes, I'm sensationalized because this is YouTube. But yeah, I'm showing you what I believe with my feet, and they're showing you what they believe with your feet. And it's up to you to decide who you want to believe.
I'll take all the blame. Look, that's on me. But I will tell you, we would not release something. Company owners is try to always do the right thing. Show people that we're basically, I always tell people, watch our feet, not our mouths. right? Watch what we do, not what we say. And that's really what we stand behind here is like, watch what we built. Go in there and use it. If it's not true, I'll take all the blame. Look, that's on me, but I will tell you, we would not release something if it wasn't, an integral product and was what we want it to be, what we want to use as creators. So super excited. I could go on and on about this, Derek, but it would be in hours here. But yeah, so Sayla, she is on the open market, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, she's on the market. I will tell you more about the contest here in the day so you can know how to get that. We'll announce that, the details for the hashtag. And I'm super excited for the lucky winner, to get her. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe, before we launch those details, think about why is it special to you? Why is Starstake special to you? Why is the Mission Series 1 special to you? And we're going to be reading those. So may the best person win.
Best Starstaker win.
May the best Starstaker win.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you for your time, Tarek. Awesome. Always great to chat. We should do this more often.
Yeah, likewise, Chris.
And we'll talk to you everyone soon.
Starstake Explorers, we have you on screen. Performing NFT systems check. Stage 1 access is set. Launch systems intact.
Look, I like a lot of the marketing here. I even find Chris and Tariq to be reasonably respectable guys. But you have to listen to the nuance in what they're saying. They're acting as a bank. They would love to do this in DeFi, but they're not really doing it in DeFi. You notice they even talked about taking credit cards for this at some point in the future. There's a company involved, and when there's a company involved, you run afoul of security laws. And even look, oh my god. If I scroll down a little bit, oh god, let's just talk about this. This is the last thing I want to talk about. I don't even have a way, under the Howey test, which we've been referencing the whole time, if I scroll down a little bit, what is an ICO? To understand the Howey test applies to crypto, it's important to understand the term that's crucial to debate surrounding cryptocurrencies and initial coin offering. The simplest explanation is an ICO is like a type of crowdfunding to raise money for their cryptocurrency projects. The companies create tokens, or NFTs, that contain tokens for that people can purchase. Here's how the ICO works. First, a company creates a white paper, which, remember, where they're going, they don't need roads. I swear, I wish I was, I wish I could quote this. Let me see if I can find it. Discover. Yeah, they've literally said, hey, where they're going, they don't need roads. The company's pitch to potential investors, they make a website dedicated to the new token. After piquing people's interest, the company asks for financial contributions, initially via well-established cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin, in exchange for some project crypto tokens, or honestly, NFTs. These tokens can serve various purposes, ranging from access to future goods or services, and entitling an investor a share of profits generated by the venture. So who can launch an ICO? Anyone! I mean, technically, no. The government has said, no, they can't. So it's one of those funny things, because for U.S. investors, an ICO is determined as a security. So I hope you enjoyed this look into the update, the first update that's been provided after the Starstake NFT failed to sell out. They're trying to get, all 700 of their community members to buy one more, trying to put a value and everything like that, saying one of them is worth $32,000 or 25 ETH. I leave this for you to decide. I'm trying to give another side of an opinion. I'm trying to give, I know the startup world very well. If you haven't seen, I've done a lot of work with different venture capital firms recently, and I know the crypto world very well. I'm trying to give you what's going on. I'm no lawyer, but I don't believe that this would hold up in court, their side of the argument of it not being a company and doing it this way. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below. This is Richard from No Pants Profits, hoping that when you get involved in crypto and you're wearing no pants, the last thing you got left to lose is your shirt or your, hold up, is your shirt or your cloak, my precious. This is Richard from No Pants Profits saying, don't lose your cloak with your member with some AMSR. And remember, don't lose your cloak. Have a great one.